one, I'm gonna get mine. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Don't tell me how you're off and down when you're smiling in my face, but you play me like a clown and you fool bitch. So just step back, or I'm mad dad when I come down straight. I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. I'm back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean revolution machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly dis, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, and you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
Happy Tuesday. I'm a little locked up here. You can't see this, but oh boy, I have to get up and oh boy. I need to have a on the air light in here because there's so much. Oh man, there's so much noise going on here. Oh man, I got to get up. Hold on. Stop sharing. We don't need that. We don't need that. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Can you shut that door, please? Yes. Thank you, sir. I'm going to have to shut that window too. Can you shut that window? Oh boy. There's a link on YouTube, but I can see you. Upstate Audits USA. I see you. I guess you're on YouTube. Yes. So I could see whatever you want to hear. Here you go. Is there a panel link? You could be on our panel. We have Jennifer Bailey coming on from Homegrown for Heroes. And they apparently can grow weed for heroes. Not like Jersey, where we can't grow weed for heroes. Yeah, I see you're on YouTube. We're also on Facebook, and we're on Instagram, I hope. Oh, no, we're not. You know, it would help if I hit the button. Hit the button, Lefty. Hit the button. There we go. Hit the button. Now we're live on Instagram. I can't show you what's going on here because they play pranks on me here. And my microphone is actually handcuffed. I don't know if you can see this. My microphone is handcuffed. I need to get the key. Rob, do you know where I can get the key for the handcuffs? My kingdom for a key. You got to answer some questions. I have to answer questions to get this key. There's all kinds of stuff here. I need to just I need the handcuffs off first. I can't deal with anything else here. Just the handcuffs. I'm handcuffed. I can't do a podcast like this, bro. I really? This is not even funny at this point. It's funny for you. Yeah, point and laugh at Lefty. Look, he's got to do his podcast with handcuffs on. Great. He had the key hidden over there. I should have looked over there. Oh my goodness.
Which one's your microphone?
This is the mic here. That's okay. You make all the noise you want. This is great radio. Okay. Oh my God. This is terrible. Why are they fuzzy? First of all,
Safety.
For safety reasons. See, this is what happens when you ask the police to take your cuffs off. This is why they don't get your cuffs off in time, because the key doesn't. Oh, you just made them tighter. Oh my God. I guess they can hang. Oh no. That's not even funny. This is not funny. No, this is your. It's too heavy for my microphone. I'm not even going to show you what he hung from my microphone with handcuffs. I'm not going to be able to do a podcast like this. This is no. This is not going to. No. Oh, okay. No, that's too much. That's too much. Too extra, Rob. Too extra. I like extra. That was too extra. I like a little extra mayo, but not that much. A little extra hot sauce, but not that much, please. Come on. I gotta put my. These are the kind of pranks I got to deal with here. It's better than Jackass, though. At least I'm not getting beat up. I'm being sexually harassed, though. That's for sure. I wish. No, you messed up my mic. I can't do anything now. I'm a mess. Wait. Oh, no. This is too funny. This is too funny. Okay, I think I'm okay now. Oh. Really? Jim, help me.
What, do you need some technical advice?
They pranked me. They put all kinds of stuff on my podcast table. They handcuffed my microphones. I'm not even going to show you. I don't want to show you what they put on it. This is what happens when your dispensary sells sex toys. This is simply what happens when your dispensary.
They have way too much.
I guess
There's too much going on here.
Yeah.
There's later on. I'll show you. Maybe I should show you now. But we have a guest coming on. I don't want to. No.
How about we get ready for that? Yeah. Please.
Let's get ready for our guest, because I want to talk about home grow for vets. This is more important.
Also, unless that conversation is steered to the national stage by the guests, we should not bring stuff up that we don't need to, because it's not about that. And you follow me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying, it's not my deal. It's
no.
I just see that happening, and you might if need be, before anybody comes on, it's always just sort of a good heads up, I would think. I don't know. What do I know?
What do I know?
I don't know.
Upstate Audits is a vet. Here in New Jersey, they forgot about our vets. We have dispensaries without wheelchair accessibility. We have police stations without wheelchair accessibility. Post offices without wheelchair access. I mean, I don't know how New York is, but New Jersey is a mess. They have towns that banned medical cannabis for dispensaries. Like you sell fentanyl in your town, you sell booze and tobacco, but you refuse to sell cannabis, which would help a vet with PTSD.
Yep.
My dad was a vet with PTSD, and he gave it all. He gave all. You know how some gave some gave all. My dad gave it all, and he lingered when he gave it all. He didn't give it all in Vietnam. He gave it all here. He came here, and he attempted suicide here, and he was in a wheelchair here in America. This is where he suffered. He didn't suffer in Vietnam. Well, he suffered in Vietnam, but he suffered here probably more.
Well, because we're getting ready for tonight's guests, I couldn't see a lot. I wanted to get a good idea, but I like kind of not knowing too much, because it becomes more revealing to me. in that, and it seemed like a good night for that. But I did go back to look at the CMMJ blog spot where I wrote a couple of blogs in 2011 and 12, right before I broke my feet and kind of didn't walk for a while, and so, but I was bringing letters from veterans from all over the country to Washington because I was able to offer. The problem was there were tests that were routinely being denied cannabis for clinical testing on veterans with post-traumatic stress that was diagnosed and resistant to conventional blah, blah, blah. Was going to use 50 combat veterans. And, so it was going to be too small to really make a difference, which I thought it might have a chance. And I believe one for sure, but I think what stimulated me to do that was it was an FDA approved protocol, which was always the thing. It's not FDA approved, it's not FDA approved. So once they approved protocol, National Institute on Drug Abuse, NIDA, meaning actually the DEA, but NIDA does the official denied the material for the test, that would make it a gold standard test, bullshit stuff, whatever. So anyway, I offered veterans the chance that if they wanted to email me a letter, any kind of letter they want concerning that situation, and make the first paragraph, the first statement in their letter would say, I would appreciate it if somebody from your office would talk with Jim Miller when he hand delivers this to your Washington, D.C. office. Because every time you walk into an office and say you want to talk about something, they say, are you a constituent? And I'd be able to say, hell no, I'm not even from the same side of Mississippi, but let me whip this out. And I take out of my jacket pocket, the request. And I say, this is from, and I read who it's from and where they are in their state. And I'll know this is a constituent. So let me read this to you. I'd appreciate it if you would have somebody talk with Jim Miller when he hand delivers this to your office. That's me, And then I'd basically add the exclamation point. Somebody would come out every time. I was never denied. Because I said, if you want to deny a constituent request to have this discussed, I'll be getting to the rest of the office because otherwise I'm kind of swamped. And it works like a charm. So I always got to discuss whatever it is they wanted to say, and I'd be well versed with it before I got there. And it always went really good. I mean, I was a pretty good exclamation point, and then I'd, go to the next office and they'd get return mail. And I wish I could have kept that up longer. But it's a really long day doing that. And I'm a man that means by no means. And it was pretty much a solo effort where I just sort of report back in. I didn't have a lot of, hey, let us help you do that. But honestly, it was a really good idea. It was the most satisfying for me that the people who were being ignored by their Congress people got attention when I stopped in the office to hand deliver a letter. It was aces, man. It was really good. Here we are.
I got a story to tell you.
Yeah.
Do you?
About PTSD and how cannabis helped.
Oh, yeah?
If you'd like, I can send you the link.
Yeah, do that.
Let's see. Upstate audits. I'm going to send you a link. Hey, Bucketman, what's up, man?
Oh, hi. How we doing? Sorry, I'm late.
Didn't miss no. Slight technical difficulties.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah.
I
You can hear me. Okay, good. There we go.
I'm trying to share this.
So, wait, what's your story, Lefty? Tell me your story.
I don't have a story.
What was you have a story about PTSD? What was that about?
Not my story. Oh, my dad's
So you're
story.
just acknowledging that a story? Okay, whatever.
Upstate Audits has a story. Upstate Audits has a yeah. Okay. Hey, Upstate Audits, what's up, my man?
Be right back, guys.
My story.
Hey.
Hey, me and a friend of mine run a channel on YouTube and Rumble called Smoke Weed Chronicles. We, it's been uplifting for me to laugh and smoke and have fun doing what I do. And
Roy,
it's,
food arrived
it,
just in the nick of time.
it starts all way before that. I have tried to commit suicide. I had a gun pointed in my mouth, and my dad came in and kicked it out of my hands just as I was pulling the trigger. And I thank God for that. That is one of the main things that helped me be over PTSD. PTSD ruined my life.
Can
And
I ask what your PTSD stems from?
action.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
I understand how muddied that water can get in your mind about
Yes.
and I what I try to tell people over and over again is that yes, you may have done some things you don't agree with, but at the end of the day, what you should be proud of is the oath you took and what that
Yeah.
means. The actions along the way, those maybe have been instructed by people who are less morally guided or whatever, and you were just doing as you were told.
Yeah. And it made me feel like a Nazi, an order follower.
I get it.
And for me to feel that way, I see my sister was in Vietnam, my dad was in Korea, and I thought, yeah, I'll just go. And they asked everybody in formation. They said, "Who wants to go?" Me and this chick raised our hands out of everybody, and she got scared and got pregnant and didn't go. I was the only one from my unit that went, and I was attached to a unit from New Mexico that was only 8 people strong. So I had to do things that in this unit that you wouldn't normally do when people had to go clear buildings or something like that because we were moving forward ahead of everybody else. I have pictures of the first wave. Here's some uh, camels out in the middle of nowhere. But if you notice that guy right there, he's on the phone.
Yeah.
And this guy didn't let him push send.
Oof.
I went with the first. We were about 3 or 4 hours ahead of the first wave, and they caught up to us and passed us. But the first wave of tanks that went up north, we were ahead of them.
Now you were an
And
operations specialist, combat specialist.
no, I was supposed to be a mechanic.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, unfortunately, yeah, they need you there. That's you're just trying to get a better picture of what you're doing. Yeah.
I carried 3 weapons. I carried a 45, an M16, and a 308.
Did
And
they make you aware that that would be a reality once you signed up as an engineer?
yeah, yeah, that most definitely. He said, if you have to pull the trigger, pull it. Don't wait for me to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my lieutenant. The highest ranking person in our unit was a lieutenant. Here I am I'm not even a specialist yet. I was just an E3, and uh, I got pushed into things that I didn't think I was gonna do, but I knew it could be a reality. This is war, you know. So I thought, yeah, okay, let's go do this, and yeah, it was totally different than I thought it was going to be. I was scared to death of fireworks when I came home.
How
Uh,
long did you serve for?
6 years,
And you were what branch? I'm sorry, I didn't catch before.
Army.
Okay.
I trained at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I
Hmm.
was the last one to be cycled through Tank Hill. If you know anything about Fort Jackson.
I know my brother was a Marine for 8 years, so I got the the rigmarole of his update with boot camp. So South Carolina at least sounds familiar to me, as far as that stuff. But and now tell me, I can obviously see you're a user of cannabis. You're coming to us for this.
Yes.
Are you just a? And I don't mean this with any stigma. I'm just trying to get a better picture of what what type of user you are. Are you someone who will just smoke to smoke and it works for you, or do you get more refined than that?
No, I smoke only indica. I can't smoke sativa.
Have you ever educated yourself on terpenes before?
Yeah.
And so okay,
My
yep. Now,
my sister is a grower in California, and I've been in the community since I was young.
what kind of what are your usual go-to strains when you're having real episodes?
Indica.
No, I mean strain,
Yeah.
like particular, like if you have a strain.
I'm a fond believer in purple nurple.
What a thing to say! I love that.
I love that strain. That is probably the best ones, but this red bottoms, that's probably one of my favorites.
Ooh, all right. Red bottoms. I like that.
Yeah, I'll let you see it.
Handsome looking buds there.
But I grew some Durban poison this year, and it's sativa. And I've been giving it away to vets that need it. I have these little jars. Well, if I can find one.
Adam, how you
Little
doing?
jars, I fill these up and I pack them. I don't just put a bunch of bud in there. I pack them
Right.
and I give those away to veterans in need. And I figure that I can do my 2 cents to help. You know,
And on that note, I'm glad you said that right there. On that note, I'd like to ask you because we are broadcasting to people, and I'm sure Lefty can identify people struggle with this. So I'll say it to you up front. For those out there who have or were in similar situation as you, but are having trouble coming to terms with, I guess, what you came to terms with long ago, that you have PTSD, that
yeah.
you need help for it, or that, and that, what do you say to them? What do you say to those people?
Don't be discouraged. Don't don't be discouraged, man. There's people out there that'll help you. If you can't go to the VA and talk to your psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever the hell it is, talk to somebody. This 20 some odd veterans a day committing suicide, I was almost one of them.
I
And
was, yeah.
I don't like to hear or see that. That just pisses me off.
Sad.
And homeless veterans, you know, I don't think any veteran should be homeless.
No, it doesn't make sense. It makes zero sense at all.
I know a lot that turn to alcohol, but a lot of them haven't tried uh what do you call it? Like hash. I love hash. I like my hash. I roll joints with probably 4 grams of hash and probably 2.5 grams of weed.
I think I've had like hash like a handful of times in my life.
That is all hash.
Ooh, that's beautiful. Ashery.
There's probably 30 bags in there.
It looks like Afghani hash.
It's Canadian
Dark.
hash, believe it or not. This hash right here is Afghani hash.
Wow, that looks great.
And both of these are indica.
Can I just point out the amount of respect I have for your Red Baron tattoo?
Yes,
It,
that's
that
my
is
baby,
just
man.
like the coolest thing. And he's in his little pose too. I
Got
love
little
that. Like,
bullet
Yeah.
holes all over.
Oh, he's got
I
bullet
love
holes.
it.
That was our unit insignia.
The
That's
scorpion.
just showing
Oh.
patriot,
Oh,
Hell
okay.
yeah.
patriotism.
Love
Yeah.
that.
That and hold on, I'll get my other camera hooked up and I'll show you my leg. You're gonna trip on this. I got a sock on my leg that you just ain't gonna believe.
What do you mean you got a sock on your leg? We won't believe.
It's a tattoo that goes from my ankle to my knee.
Oh man.
And that
Uh-oh.
ain't even my avatar. This is my avatar.
I think we're about to see something here. A big reveal.
Love that. Love that avatar.
Upstate.
Is that where you are? Upstate
Yes,
New
sir.
York?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been
You
on a
guys,
night.
guys didn't get a crazy amount of snow this year.
Upstate where?
Yeah, we got a crazy amount, I'll tell you.
Comparatively, I mean, my friend used to live in Buffalo, and he used to
Getting
tell me
worse than
stories
we do
of
up here in Messina.
Messina.
Desert Shield.
Ooh.
Hold on, let me pan it out. Oh no, that goes
Nice.
closer.
Hey there. Hey, nice gams. Hey now. Yeah, look at that. That's great.
Fighter, Apache helicopter.
Woo! Look at that.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's
That is
very
great.
picturesque.
2 tours.
There's a whole
2
war. There's a
stars.
whole war going on there.
Yes. And I got to fly in that Apache helicopter. That's one of the main reasons I put it on there. Is I actually flew in one, and
I
that
just
scared
picture-
the daylights out of me, man. That's a scary ride, bro.
Messina's
picture
way
him
up
with
there.
It is. Let's picture him with his therapist sitting there and say, "There's a war going on my leg," and he says, "Don't you mean there's a war going on in your mind?" And he's like, "No." And he just lifts
No.
his sock and it's like, "Yeah."
My leg.
No, every single one of my therapists have said, "What do you think of that on your leg? Does not project what you're trying to combat?" And I'm like, "No, it's what got me over being the way I am, or one of the things."
I see that you're owning it. You're owning it. You can still own. I absolutely agree with that. You can absolutely own something that happened in your life and say, "Yes, I'm going to own this. I'm going to wear it as whether a badge of honor or a show of regret or whatever it is." But I can still own it. It's happened to me.
Yeah. Even my old lady, she's impressed by the way that I got over the fireworks and bangs and stuff like that. Now there's some that still kind of jack with me, but fireworks, no. I sat there one night on 4th of July, sitting there with my phone, watching my phone instead of the actual fireworks,
Okay.
and that got me out of it.
It removes a layer of reality from it for you.
Yes, yes. I filmed the whole thing, and she did a attaboy, gave me an attaboy, and that's what stopped it all.
That's beautiful, dude.
I was very impressed by not only her, but the way that she just let me go through with it. Instead of being all in panic and distraught, it helped ease everything. It made it
Yes.
go away. It just went away.
Sometimes you just gotta be a little bit creative about how you tackle these things.
Dude, if that could work for everybody, I'd say go ahead and do it.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't work for everyone. No, yeah. And you
it's
know what?
not.
I can tell right now you definitely have the attitude of someone who's like, listen, I went through it and I regret what I did, but I definitely know people have done and been through worse.
Yeah,
And that
I've been mentors. I've been there was a veteran that was living with his family underneath a bridge right down the street from where I live. Had a little girl, and a little boy, and his wife and him living in snow about that deep. And this is a few years back. It's when Buffalo got like 8 foot in one night. And I was like, man, these guys can't. I had my own channel. Now, Upstate Down Audits channel, that's a totally different channel than Devo's Weed Chronicles. I'm a First Amendment auditor, which I'll take it all the way up. But Devo's Weed Chronicles is a place for laughter, fun, games, and all that. But through my other channel, I actually help these people out, and to find out that he was a veteran got me more help for him. So I had all these people pulling for me to get him into a motel. Now he's got his kids in school, living in a apartment, got his own transportation and everything, got a job. I mean, I see him every now and then. He stops by, and I'd like to do that to other people too.
that's good.
I'd like to
You
know
got a
more
good
about your
heart.
audits. The auditing is amazing to me because the ignorance of some people that would just come up to you on a sidewalk and say, "What are you doing? Why are you filming me?" Like, why would you go up to somebody with a camera who's filming and ask, "Well, I don't want to be on camera," but you walked up to the camera, but you don't want to be on film.
Yeah.
Like, you make no sense.
No,
Don't
it's
put me
it's
on
it's
your
it's it's
camera.
a bunch of people looking for a fight.
What's that? What's that? I couldn't hear you.
That's why I have so many different cameras. I
Yeah.
have body cameras. I have this tripod with like 1, 2, 3 cameras on it. God, I have so many cameras.
Have you been attacked? Have you been assaulted?
Lefty, you've seen me come into the dispensary. You know that speaker I have on my chest, right? I had a woman come up to me. It was like last year. Did that literal same thing. It just like, what are you doing? Why are you filming me? And I was like, I'm not. I'm just standing here. And she pointed at my chest. I was like, that's a speaker. People,
Have you been assaulted?
I got my arm whacked with a baseball bat, and I've had
What?
my phone just like smacked right out of my hand. It went flying.
anyone done that?
What? People are nuts, man.
And Karens,
People are
I love
nuts.
Karens, man. Don't film this or don't do that. And look,
If you come anywhere near my property, I will call the police and tell them you attacked me.
don't film my house.
Don't film
And
my
then
business. Well, why?
the thing that I don't like is when cops will say,
Side with them.
"Oh, well, this and that and the other," and I'll say, "Well, you're violating my rights, dude. Do you not know this? There's no expectation of privacy in public, and I can do anything I want in a public forum as long as I ain't breaking the law. So go away." And they still want to push it. Stupid,
You should
man.
here if you're someone who's a big camera enthusiast, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm sure you probably have a drone. There's this really portable
I got
one I use.
2.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's this really portable one I use called the Hover X that actually will has self-automated flight paths on it. You
Yeah.
should look into it. I think you'd really like that one.
I have one from I think she got it from Amazon. It's yellow and black.
Well,
and I can't remember the name of it, but that thing, man, it has flight paths and it'll follow you.
here's a little tip for you as far as anyone that you may have issues with. As far as the drones, restraining orders only go left and right. They don't go up and down.
Yeah. And
It's a fun fact for me.
if I really have to get nasty, look, I have a flashlight that has a camera in it,
I love that.
and then I have my night vision.
Night vision.
And
Now,
then-
wait, legitimately, I have to ask, as someone with PTSD, did you ever does that trigger you at all? Like, did you ever have any?
It did at first. It did at first. It really did, man. Looking into this thing at night was a freaking trip.
And you know
But-
what? Here's the thing. That shows that your love and passion for photography and your First Amendment rights outweighed your fear because you wanted to, you're still using that.
Yeah. And see,
And I want to assume that there wasn't therapy for the night vision. You kind of just kept doing that.
exactly.
So, hi,
I
Jen.
pushed my way into it and I'll lift myself out of it, you know?
Hey, Jen.
Hey,
Jen,
how are you guys?
Doing all right. And nice to see you. This is my first time getting to meet you. Hello. How are you today?
first time here too.
I'm doing well. I'm just a little like, whew, getting everybody in the
Oh, my
house
hair's
and after
all whack.
school and work and stuff.
Enjoying the weather, I hope. I don't know if you're in New Jersey or not.
Yes, it is nice here.
Oh, it's
No, I'm
beautiful.
in Virginia, but it's nice here. It is so beautiful here, but
That's
good.
one
still
thing about
Virginia.
Devo. Devo's out there in Oklahoma. We've known each other for years and years and years and years and years off of YouTube.
Yeah.
And he's bragging about the weather down there. And I'm like, you don't know how much I just want to kick him in the balls. You know?
No, I have my best friend lives in Florida and she has a terrible, I'll say, nasty lady habit. Not really. I love her, but she'll do this thing where like we'll be on the phone and she'll know it's winter in Jersey. She grew up in Jersey and she'll be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, what's the temperature over there?" I'll be like, "It's like 20, 30 degrees." She'll be like, "Ah, it's like 70, 80 here." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I know what you're doing. You need to stop doing that right now."
I
It's
do that.
34 degrees right now here.
Oh,
Well, Jennifer, I want to thank you for being here. Jennifer's a special guest, and it was fun. I usually like to get to know somebody before they're on the show, so I at least don't feel. I mean, I'm more prepared, you know. But upon
Jim froze.
Uh-oh. Jim, you froze. I think the word is scrutinize. I think he's going to say scrutinizing your work.
Yeah, well, no, you know, I do. I want to be prepared. You know, I don't mean with questions. We're informal as can be. I'm just saying, and I realized
froze for a bit there, just
right
hang on.
off, it would be one of the few things I thought would be more fun to experience with the less I know, the better, which is more enjoyable for me. I feel, you know. More in tune with what's going on, the less I know, sometimes a better person. I think it was going to involve something really technical, like, you know, well, somebody's going to be on, we're going to talk about the endocannabinoid system. Okay, I'm going to delve into that a little bit better, so I'm more in tune
I
with
also
it.
noticed that Jennifer has a watchful eye of a mother right now because I
Yeah.
hear children in the background.
Yeah.
they're getting the mom eye is what they're getting.
Yeah, they're getting the. I'm watching you. Don't put that down.
What about Home Grow for Heroes? Am I
Yeah,
getting
tell us
it?
about
tell us.
Homegrown for Heroes.
Sure, a homegrown for heroes.
I'm here to hear about that.
Absolutely. And I love talking about it. So Homegrown for Heroes is a 501c3, also a federally registered and approved research and development organization for cannabinoid research in veterans with PTS and TBI. So basically, what we do is that we give veterans nationwide cannabis every month, depending on our shares that we get donated, but they get shared back to the organization. And we give up to 1 ounce of cannabis a month. Again, also dependent on our home growers that share back into our program. So we have 750 veterans nationwide, with 800 veterans that we have serviced nationwide. And some of them have left the program because they started cultivating their own medicine, and which is great. It's great. I love teaching people how to grow their own medicinal cannabis. And where we go is that we have the Healing Heroes program, which is the veterans coming into our program. And then we have the Planting for Patriots program, which is a volunteer-based program within inside of our organization that home growers nationwide offer and volunteer a space in their tent or space in their garden outside to grow for us. And we give them the genetics, whether they're organic or synthetic based. We try to help with donated goods that I have, and I'll send them out. If I don't have the products, we usually have discounts for local stores or things of that nature and brands. We do have a grocery store in Jersey who I absolutely love and adore. They have been amazing. They have been one of our best cheerleaders behind the scenes, and they are just awesome. So when I called them last summer, I only had like 75 veterans then, and now we have almost tripled in growth. And that's where I have came to become more in tune with the Jersey homegrown laws, or lack thereof. But I am from Jersey as well. I'm from South Jersey, and it's great for me to be back home and help home get their life together, obviously. But I'm just kidding. Get the homegrown laws, because it's crazy that there isn't any homegrown laws there, actually. But
Yeah.
that's like me saying that we have adult use, but we have no recreational dispensaries here.
Hey,
I've been blown away by that. It's crazy, and it's weird how different states, like, there's either they recreationalize or they don't. Like in the case of like Texas that I've heard, where like they don't have it recreational or medical, but they'll have these festivals that are known that they know happen with big weed festivals, and they don't really do anything about. So I feel like there's like different attitudes across the board, but hopefully you guys get your dispensaries up sooner rather than later.
I don't think we'll get on this. Like our governor has already told us he's vetoing it. I haven't followed our legislation at all this year just because of that. And I'm usually pretty up to date with ours, and I follow it like tooth and nail. And we're writing our legislators this year. I didn't do that. It was it's just defeating. Like, we already know he's going to veto the bill. And better luck next year, hopefully. So hopefully we'll have micro business license where we can co-op with the local farmer and veteran and just those people who actually want to grow and therapeutically.
I have a friend in Chicago that owns a distributor. He distributes everything from edibles to like cancer patients use that Rick Simpson oil. Well, he has that and an array of other things. And one thing that works for me, because I have upper back issues and neck issues, is the pain stick. Well, this guy, I just texted him and told him to come to the channel. So if you see a LT man, that's the guy. and if you come to Devo's Weed Chronicles, I put it in the private chat. He goes there a lot, and we'll throw the link up, and you can use the code and everything else and mention me and Devo, and you'll get 2 free gifts. But that's besides the point. What I want to do is get you connected with him so that he can help this.
That would be amazing, because we are about 4 months behind.
Well, I will do my best to do my best, but just look up Devo's Weed Chronicles, subscribe, and look for that link. We will put it in there. We'll be live probably in 2 hours. It depends on how Devo feels, but he's working today. So,
And Jennifer, if I could pass on any piece of advice of returning to Jersey, is that I would definitely plan to be here the month of April. I've been working in the cannabis industry for 2 years now, a patient for 5 to 6 years now. The 420 celebration was tepid, if not existed, during COVID. The year after it died down, it was meh. It was, dispensaries would, throw a little flair about it. Last year was pretty notable comparatively as far as celebration. This year is the year to be here. I'm telling you. I definitely thinking with everything going on and the fact that they think everyone's going to want a distraction, the fact that we're so far away from COVID and so far into recreationalizing with and having done this so many times, you could make a lot of traction coming here for events this April for 420. Absolutely.
that's like here in New York. It's recreational. I can ride my bike down the street smoking a joint.
Yep.
And
Well, we have,
Beautiful.
I'll be up there, but I'll be in Massachusetts on the 19th doing
lucky.
a 3-year smoke fest with Zahara dispensary.
Right.
They
Nice.
are our first recreational here. I don't know if you want to do that. Recreation dispensary that endorsed us. Like even in
Right.
Virginia, we haven't even had that happen. But that's also because I'm loud about our dispensaries about having mold in their flower. So
And
I
what a
probably don't want
beautiful
to
place
because
to
I
do
call it
420, Massachusetts. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I'm very jealous.
that
It's
guy right
419
there
now.
in chat
So
is
if we have anything on 420, I'll just hang out with my aunts and my uncles and just come and hang out. Or what do you want me to do?
Beautiful. But I will say again, I've been to Massachusetts. I think what was it, the first year of COVID, me and my friends took on Airbnb in Massachusetts just to hit dispensaries. And my God, you get one right up in the mountains up there. You hit a couple dispos. You're up there at night. You're almost guaranteed to see a shooting star every night. If you're that, it's just beautiful. Oh my
Hey.
God.
I can't wait to go. Like I wasn't going to, just because we have so many events up north, and I just feel like it's the most appropriate and business thing to do is to go up there. But I think we'll just make it a whole family trip and go up, and we are going to the Poconos Cannafest.
Oh my God.
Cannafest. We'll be there this year. What? I've never been there, and they're asking me to camp.
No,
and
I'm jealous. You're going to all these cool places for 420 up in the mountains. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a place to be.
hey Lefty.
Yeah.
Can you mod LT man so he can put his link in chat? I don't care if it's just for a minute, but let him put the link in chat.
So
I don't see it.
It'd be LT man right there. He can't put a link unless you gotta mod him. He's in YouTube.
So Jen, tell me, we've talked about your organization, we talked about your movement, and I think we're all on the same page as Homegrow. I want to know a little bit more about you. What is your cannabis preferences?
So here we go. You ready? I don't
Yes.
smoke. I only
Not surprising.
I
Okay.
and it's because I stopped smoking cigarettes like 10 years ago, so I associate the two. Um, but I'll have like a gummy here and there.
So I will say, as someone who's worked, my dad's a doctor, my mom's a nurse. I got the whole spiel about smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, and everything like that. I think with that, a lot of that can be sorted out in your head when you think about that. Joints are basic. They're basically it's basically comparing sausage to hot dogs. Cigarettes are the hot dogs. They're made dirty with a whole bunch of garbage in them. Whereas a joint is at least has a little more care in them, and the product's a lot more pure. Like it's a very clear difference of like the type of smoke you're inhaling at
Oh
that
yeah,
point,
it's definitely
and how
different.
easy it is for your body to filter that nonsense out. However, I do understand your body having a stigma of just smoke and that not sitting the same anymore. Have you tried cartridges at all?
So I don't vape either. We don't even
Okay.
accept those into the program unless it is from, I know that we just got endorsed as well by Dime Industries. I reached out to them. They're very transparent in their testing of their cartridges. They are very transparent. So if we did, it would be like from a legitimate, reputable brand that we would be able
Right.
to. It's just because we can't test them, and frankly, it's very expensive to test. And it's all still coming out of my pocket. I still self-fund our organization. Because funding is very hard, and it's very hard to have somebody believe in an organization that is still grassroots. But everybody that had told me no last year when they came around, I sorry, but sorry. I'm sorry. Like
You're doing everything you can. You are, and that's all you can ask for. That's
yeah.
we're working in a tough environment right now of even more lies and nonsense coming out and unnecessary blockades. So we just got to keep fighting, and you're doing the best you can, and probably even better than that.
Yeah, I mean, we
Doing a
have
hell of a job from what I hear.
Sorry.
You're doing a hell of a job from what I hear. I mean,
Thank
keep it
you.
up, do it.
I'm fine. I mean, I've had my fair share of my community here, mostly men. No offense to you guys, but they turned me into the state police, the federal government. They have turned me into the Cannabis Association here, and they called the Attorney General on me.
We had
There's
two women on the other day from a group called Just a Woman Cannabis, who is actually a lot of their J's get sent to them, are sold by the Mad Hatter, I believe. I actually tried one the other day, the Cowboy Basil. I implore you to look into them because for a couple of reasons. Number one, the main reason for me is that they're a woman-focused cannabis. And I think we can all admit that while cannabis is generally, looked at from a general standpoint of people's medical issues and mental issues and whatnot, that's male leaned. It's just the reality of most things in life, sadly. So to see a woman's perspective purely on cannabis and for women's needs, all of those that they may be, and how they'll affect also the male market too. I'm excited to see that. They were very transparent even about their pre-rolls. And I'm actually really excited about the pedal ones. I think they're not going to canoe because they're rose petal and petal infused. All the color is natural. So I'm confident. Yes. So I was really confident hearing them. They seemed very transparent. I would definitely look into them, even just talking to them for reference points because they're awesome. They're awesome, and I think that even PTSD could use a woman's touch.
yeah.
Like PTSD. No one PTS is more overwhelming than the other. I mean, we can't scale that.
Right.
because I was trying to explain that to why I chose veterans over a woman that experienced domestic violence. I am a woman of domestic violence. I survived domestic violence, and I actually have a speakeasy for women that that have witnessed that are survivors of that, and they don't have to go. And males as well. Like it actually kind of threw me back a little bit. But they're no different. I mean, women can be very spiteful and very mean. And
I think that's just anyone. I think
and,
women
you know,
get an unfair
yeah.
stigma for that.
And we just help so they don't have to feel like they have to go to this person, they have to go to this person, or they have to do this to get that, like, and it just it's degrading also. But so how I came into this is that I was growing for about 5 of my veteran friends that were going through custody court. So I mean, I'm a little partial to it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I know, man. But
What does PTSD stand for?
and then I just grew and grew and grew and grew
Yes.
until I just wasn't, until it became like a felony in 10 years and $500,000.
Right.
I have I'm sorry. I have a question. I make notes because I forget stuff, and that's more getting older than smoking too much pot.
I do not.
One, why does that comfort and impress me at the same time that you don't use cannabis? And I'm trying to get in my own head. Okay, Jim, why did I just? Because I saw I'm looking at myself there too, and I see me smiling when you said that. But it was only because it was sort of like somehow, and I don't know how directly. Most of us start with a slight disadvantage of being cannabis consumers.
I used to.
No, I know, which is the impressive part. You have knowledge personally of it, but it doesn't involve what you're doing now for certain reasons that kind of say, hey, that's the way it is for people too. But I think in some circles, you would probably be more trusted for what you say because of it. And I don't mean with a direct, it's hard for me to get,
She's non-biased about it, is what you're trying to say.
Well, but all below the surface stuff, not a direct bias I'm even talking about. I'm talking really influential yet subtle things, in certain setups. And I have these like little beyond red flags and yellow flags. I have some green flags that go up where I got to go, why did I just get that green flag? So I psychoanalyze myself here, but I also wanted to ask you,
Jim, just real quick. So if someone could say to her oh, so you're not thinking about this clearly because you're a user, that the fact that those kind of things wouldn't be applicable to her, is that reassuring?
No.
I might just have to cuss somebody out if they said something like that to me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just looking at it from how they'd say it. That's all.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? Did you don't be weird and say that again?
You mentioned PTS.
And another thing is that I just recently lost my mom. She was 56 years old.
Condolences. Too young.
Thank you. And it was towards smoking. It's just, I wish that she would.
My grandfather was the same way.
When I promised my stepdad that I would never smoke another cigarette again, I kept my promise. And then when my mom passed, and just seeing her lungs with, and this obviously isn't with this is cigarette smoke, with tobacco and the gunk in there. It just kind of turns you off. Anything that you can inhale, regardless. And there will be sometimes in the future, I'm sure, where I need to have, like an upper or a sativa of some sort, or and then like when I go to bed, I'll have a gummy if I need to, just because I'm trying to also self learn my emotions again, coming out of my flight or fright mode, like, so I'm trying to learn all of this myself and to teach other people how to do it too. And while
completely understand that.
And the sense and the act of gardening, like I just grow it because that's therapeutic to me. And then I just give it all away. Except we only are allowed 4 plants. And now that I'm kind of like the face of the organization, I have to make sure that I, comply with our laws.
We can have 12 here.
I know. I am very
grown, and okay, we can have 6 and 6.
Are you in Boston?
No,
Wait,
we're in no,
New York. New York,
yeah,
right?
I'm in New York.
Yeah. I forgot.
I live up by the Akwesasne Mohawk Reservation, which has more.
I don't know.
Okay, probably more weed stores than gas stations in New York. They have
So
a lot of weed stores.
wait, I just so let me catch up here. So New York has home grow laws, correct?
Yeah, and we're recreational.
Okay. So here's what we do. Until the meantime, for New Jersey home grow, here's what we do. Someone needs to buy a storage unit in New York, a large storage unit, and people will be able to rent this out to grow their own weed. Solution. There we go. Beautiful.
Yes. And see, we can only.
Credit
Okay.
glitter.
I cannot say anything
Last
to
year-
that in right of incriminating of anybody. So I would say that's pretty cool to do.
My yield last year was only 3 plants because that's all that survived. I can only grow autos because I grow outside. I grow right in my front yard.
Right.
If I was to say grow indoor, I would have to learn all over again because this last year was my first year. That was the first year I ever grew in New York. I've grown in New Mexico, I've grown in Oklahoma, and I've grown in California. But
those are so different atmospheres and humidity levels.
yes,
Oh my God.
yes. And here in New York, we're so far up north that we have barely any light during the day. In the summertime it gets pretty freaking hot, but for the plants to grow like I would want them to, I would have to grow them indoor for a while and then put them outdoors, or grow them all indoor. And I just don't have the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never. I have a controlling problem with plants. Like I cannot. Like I couldn't. I want to be able to control my lights. I want to be control how much humidity is in there. I want to control when it rains and all of that. So I don't think I could do that because that would probably
Jen,
raise my anxiety.
Juicy. Quick question for you guys. You guys are both growers, and I ask this of every grower we have on here. Do you guys play music or sing to your plants?
I actually play jazz music or classical.
There we go. Okay. See,
That's
my best
Durban
friend,
poison.
love
That's
that.
what a
Love
lot of
Durban
the
poison.
Durban poison.
Love me some Durban poison.
I can just screw some of that.
Well, you come up here and say that you've seen me on Delo's Weed Chronicles. I will give you this and 2 joints.
I will do my best to get up there. I was saying though, but when the first year of COVID, when it started, I flew down to Florida with my best friend who was growing her own on her own time. But what she used to do was every night before we go to bed, and when we wake up in the morning, but more when we go to bed, she'd be playing EDM for the plants, and she'd hold the leaves and talk to it. And she's a big advocate of this is a living thing, and you need to be able to give it a comforting environment. Juicy, do you play music or talk to your plants?
Oh,
Upstate? Yeah, sorry.
Okay, you can call me Big Juicy. You just threw me off.
What do we call you? It says Big Juicy there.
Well, that's my That's my nickname.
I can't
Well,
say that.
then call him Big Juicy, not just Juicy.
I was
That's
Big
like
juice.
that's Judy. That's Judy and Lucy combined or some shit. You know?
Big juice.
Oh, real quick, while I got you, I have to because I will forget. PTS, you said. I hadn't heard that since Al Byrne really advised me a lot not to use the D in PTSD, and I didn't know if you just left the D off because it's post-traumatic stress, you know. But the D stands for disorder, and he found that objectionable in a way, and he made a good argument. So when you did that, it was really quick, and it was like all PTS, and you went right by it, like you normally refer to it that way. And I didn't want to wait to catch you haphazardly just say it again. So I needed to, was that just a quicker way to say it, or do you think it's a better?
It's almost the same. I just don't believe it's
Okay, there you go.
Well, Jen, let me ask you,
I'm down with that.
before I go back to Juicy, would you argue that there's a differential between someone who has experienced post-traumatic stress and to a point where it's become a disorder?
It's only referred to as disorder.
Think about. I from my point of view, Juicy here would be someone I'd say with PTS, someone who has the stress. And you weren't here for this. He actually shared this with us. He got over viewing fireworks by putting his phone in front of him on record to view the fireworks through a screen, separating the reality. So I would argue someone who's functionally dealing with the stress not to be a disorder, whereas someone who's dealing with the stress with alcohol or is letting their life devolve into a toxic or less than functional sense, that would be a disorder. Either way needs therapy. What?
Like they're just I feel like the PTS could lead to that. But then it stems into something an abusing of a different
right
drug.
Right. But if we're generally looking, but the core, like the start of it would be the post-traumatic stress. To the point where it becomes a disorder is when your life starts to fall apart. Is what I'm saying.
Respectfully, their lives are always falling apart since they came home.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't really think that they do the work, but you have to want to do the work. And I really don't feel that's something that is experienced versus like a hereditary thing would be like, to me, something hereditary would be more of like a disorder or something. But I don't even like that word. Like I don't like it. I just feel like it's negative. Because
I can understand that.
It leads to negativity, is what it does.
Yeah,
it makes you seem non-functional.
That's what Al was about there. Yeah, Al was like
the
that.
veterans don't like it.
And Al's in Virginia too, so I didn't know if it was something in the water in Virginia where they just didn't like this disorder. But yeah, Al Byrne was, I don't know if you know, he was really integral in Patients at a Time, an organization based in Virginia, Al and Mary Lynn, and they went separate ways. So he's not that, but he was Navy, but rose to a position where he was into procurements and deal of, a lot of decisions on where money got spent, and he is all about veterans. It's like through his whole soul, everything that goes on. And
my disorder is the nightmares, man. You can't never get over that. I don't know how long people try or hard you try or whatever. It's that fucking nightmares stay there, dude.
And there's origins to dreams and nightmares. I just want to clarify real quick. I wasn't what I was trying to get at was not the point to label a person, but more to the fact that, like, if you're a medical professional and you're treating someone who has that issue, labeling is a big part of, like, not to stigmatize, but to classify and to diagnose and treat. Labeling is a huge thing within the medical community. So what I was getting at was more when you're treating someone, I more as like, okay, they need more of my immediate attention, and are in a more dire circumstance mentally would be the disorder, not as a stigma, but more as a literal state. And yes, not to state that they're not always in some sort of distress or disorder, but like, take me, for instance. I have PTSD from being wrongfully imprisoned. It took me a little while, but I got myself back to a functioning state. Am I still dealing with a lot of the white-minded, painted blank state? From time to time, yeah, but I'm functioning. It hasn't become a disorder to my life yet. And I do concede the stigma that it does lead to the person and to the people of using that it does make it seem like a non-functional person. I absolutely understand that point.
Yeah,
If we look at it more as like an injury, like they're exposed to this and they injured themselves, versus like when my veterans, it seems like the word disorder can put them in a spiral. And then the suicidal thoughts come up, and they feel like they cannot, like they feel that they can't change, and they feel like they're always going to have this. But here, like what we also do to help is that we give them that
until about 20 years ago. I was exactly like that. 20 years ago, you'd have told me that I could get out of that shit. I told you, hell no, you fucking crazy, and be pissed, want to hit you. But if you told me that today, I'd be like, what do you got for me that I can't already do myself?
Juicy, aside from yourself and all you've done for yourself to fight this, let's just look at it like this, there's not many of them out there, but a big way of how a lot of these people get through these problems is through humanity.
Big
like
juicy.
I was watching
alcohol, drugs.
No, I mean in the healthy sense, not in the mending a bridge with Band-Aid sense. I mean, like in the end, when they really make that big transition and like those big moments that are really meaningful, where they feel validated and heard, it's through humanity.
Right.
I was watching. What was that? I was on my Instagram the other day.
Wait, I gotta
go ahead.
put a correction in there. Now, some people find love in a dog, love in a cat, love in a bird.
Okay, yes.
Now, you can always ask humanity, but that dog or cat or whatever is going to have unconditional love. That's why there's places out there for veterans that give them service animals. You look at Veterans Row in LA. That's probably $400 or $500 or veterans that are on the street out in LA, and not one person to help them out.
That's disgusting.
There's a place called V for Vets. You can look them up on YouTube. That guy has people out he's in Kentucky, but he has people out in California. If he gets the help, they go out and feed the vets, go out and talk to the vets, go out and have, literal conversations with the vets. But they also bring these other people willing to give them a pet to take care of, and they will help them feed them, help give them water and everything else like that every week.
Mom,
they take care of the animals better than the veteran, I think. But
and when I say humanity, I definitely include the pets, because that's your humanity saving. That's you having humanity to love something else, even through all you've been through, and to be able to see that light of something, especially something that is not of skin and like your skin and bone, and to be able to find comfort and peace in that is just, it's a lot. It gives me hope. It gives me hope. It gives me reassurance that there's still humanity out there, that we're not all just bowing our heads.
Coming from a guy with PTSD, it creates a necessity to live. Because every single one of those vets out there on Veteran Row in LA, every single one of them are thinking, man, can I just die today? Can it just all just end? And that's giving in to that 20 some odd percent of veteran 20 some odd veterans a day committing suicide.
Yep. We just had our 22 a day benefit.
Yeah. See, I think it's more than that. I was almost
It's 17%, but it can get up there, and then they start adding all these other things. It doesn't. It's just it's too many. I mean, it's
wrong. That's what it is.
One
It's wrong.
is too many. You know, and I was almost a statistic. You know, I was almost one of those that was the 22 a day, but I got out of that shit by the glory and grace of God. My dad came in and kicked the gun out of my hand. I went absolutely nuts, you know, and just see how these people are. You know, I'm going out to Oklahoma in July. What I'm going to do is, it's like a promotion tour, man. I am going to do something for the community, and I don't even know what it is myself.
But you've made the first step. You've decided you're going to do something, and that is enough to get the cogs churning in your head to produce something great, which I know you will do.
Well, come July, I'll know.
That's plenty of time. That's plenty of time.
Get that link there, LT man. Hit that link. 47.
And with our planting for, I don't think I said this, but when our planting for Patriot program, we give them like a box of genetics too. And then we just ask for some of the harvest back. We don't even ask for all of it. And then at the end, when we meet up and we get the harvest, we give you a donation receipt that you can write off your soil, your electric bill, your water on your taxes.
I love that. That's
No
awesome.
brainer, right? I mean,
so what if they do? Can they opt for hydroponic at all?
Yeah, I don't care how you grow, because we get it tested anyway. Like we get everything tested that comes in.
That's beautiful.
So, and actually, we're getting ready to start with Trichome Analytics here soon. Yeah, I'm telling you,
They're awesome.
like they are my store. You know, like they have been my biggest supporters, and everybody's so great.
I have a question for you. Now, you don't smoke weed, but there had to be a time where you tried it. So I'd like to know the first time you tried cannabis. Whatever
I
happened?
smoked up until about a year. Like I smoked. The last time I actually smoked was probably almost a year and a half ago. And that is because like I just didn't feel safe where I was to be able to allow myself to just chill. You know, like I always had to be the one in my marriage. It was rough. It was definitely
you've said more than enough. I get you. And I'm sorry again you had to go through that. You are unbelievably strong for coming out that as healthy as you are right now about this.
I want to know the first time you smoked weed. How old were you the first time, and how was your experience the first time you smoked weed?
So the first time I ever smoked was with my best friend when I was growing up. And I believe I was a sheltered child. I think I was like 15. 15. Yeah, I was sheltered. And I was a nerd too.
Started way younger than that.
Yeah, I was
like my sister was into business, man.
Yeah, so I was really
there he is.
And I remember I don't remember too much of it. But I do remember later in life.
Wait, hold on. What was that, Jennifer?
I don't quite remember what. I know that I was like, it was. I don't know if it wasn't a good high at all.
Was it good? Oh no.
But and then I remember a little after that, like I just started becoming it, like where people would come for anything, and
yeah.
And so I literally came from nothing, like at 15 years old, to actually paying people to just roll for me. Like I didn't care. You know what I'm
You
saying?
and me were the same. I
You know,
love
like, I was
that.
telling people where to go, and like, and I just, like, okay, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like,
I
and
still have people who will stop at when I'm standing at the 4-way intersection in my street, in my neighborhood. Ever since they learned I work in the cannabis industry, they will literally stop their car or walk up to me and be like, "Yo, you got J's on you?"
right? That's exactly how. So I'll be in the store, up in the grocery store, and I'm talking like the most conservative store, and they'll just say, "You're Jennifer. Do you have any flour?"
That's
I'm like, what?
I give
No,
away
I don't
points
have any
to
flour.
everybody that says that they saw me on Devo's Weed Chronicles. If they come up to me and say that, I give them 2 joints. That's what they get.
now.
I usually just give them a card and tell them if they're a veteran, sign up. Like, oh, and another thing is even though that we're like 5 months behind, if a veteran contacts me and tells me they are not in a good headspace, I will make sure. I mean, I have hands in almost every single market in the United States. I will make sure.
She froze.
Jen froze.
I have to
froze.
purchase it from a legal dispensary. Like, I will make sure
There
that
you go.
veteran is good, and like it's important for me that my guys are good, and ladies.
They feel taken care of.
But they're everything. And I
like
can't
that.
have them.
That's-
Like, there was a
You
gentleman.
don't even have to have a card here. You just go in there with your license. They don't really even if you look young, they're gonna license you. But and they don't even ask you for. I don't get asked for it anymore. I mean, I did a couple of times, but that's when they first started. Now they just don't care. But
Jen, I will say, reach out to Lefty for my contact information. I would love to help you make a video promotion for that very purpose of, listen, if you guys feel that you guys aren't in a good space, Jen will make sure you're taken care of. I would love to do that for you, honestly, because I love being able to use my talents to help people feel safe
that's a
and
right.
secure.
That's a right.
Thank you. Like, like everybody says they want to help you until I need the help, and then like everybody's gone, and I'm just like,
I love editing videos.
But
Give me stuff to do.
what type of help are you talking about?
I mean, like, hi. I was
Mr.
like,
Hemp, I
going
love
on?
your
right
logo,
now.
by the way.
Thank you.
So I just need a lot of like design stuff done. Like I have so much on my plate right now. I don't have the brain capacity and to imagine anything. I just tell you, I want it this, and this, and this, and I want it to be like poof.
Take on the Bucketman. I will be your artist brain for you.
And
Absolutely.
and like I give, like I was holding a nonprofit. I get Adobe for free. I get the Express for free. I get all of these elements and things that can help me, but I don't have time. And I don't mind paying for it for somebody else to help me.
What are you talking about as far as design or help with product or
imagery? I think she's talking about imagery and whatnot.
I mean, with technology now, with what's going out there, with everything, certain apps, a lot of free ones, even without their watermark on there, you can still, even with small purchases, you can do it. What are you actually trying to do? I'm sorry, I'm LT. I'm from hempfromfitness.com. You guys can check us out there. We sell, manufacture, produce all CBD products.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
So we are
This guy can get you anything, man.
well, what we're doing is that we're going
We're basically it's Hemp for Fitness. Make a long story short, we started off small, basically at home. Became into our very own manufacturing company with certified chemist, and I understand you got to get all the time when you have a product or you receive a product, it either has to come with a COA or you have to do it yourself. And yeah, that does get very expensive if you're just starting off. So yeah, I know how it is. But we started off small and started growing. Basically, like anything, you're looking for a better health or to better the health of a friend or a loved one, and it usually starts off with a loved one. Basically, that's how it started off. Someone in our families started off with it. We didn't want to give pharmaceutical medication right away, especially with age, what ages these people were, from old to young, side effects with certain medications, which was all right, dealable with some, but it was absolutely a no-go with the young. You don't want to try to cure something and give them another deficiency, or how could you say problem, or side effect with pharmaceutical medicine. So what do you try to do? You go for natural. You try to look for the best way, and that's what we did, and it helped. And started the investment. Started off with some people, and we're here now. And most of the time, we try to look out for people that have problems. Sometimes we give out free samples just so they can try it out. Our thing is this: it might not be a cure, but if it helps you not run into the medicine cabinet or to go get a prescribed medication, which possibly has side effects, we recommend to try something natural.
That right there is one of his products. I rub it on my muscles. Devo uses a pain stick and swears on it, dude.
Yeah, we got a lot of products in there, from anything from I mean, you guys could check it out. But I just seen that you guys were on, and I got invited, so I loved the conversation, and especially with people with problems. And I kind of caught some of your conversation as far as PTSD, and yeah, it can become a disorder. It depends how you get it, how you handle it, rather. But also, out of experience, pharmaceutical medications and their side effects, it's really
Much worse.
you always want to. You always. I believe one of you guys explained it as a Band-Aid.
Yeah, Band-Aid fixing a bridge with Band-Aids.
Correct. And some people do go to other extremes, which is not the best part. And we all know about alcoholism and everything to basically use it as a Band-Aid. But even pharmaceutical medications, when you're still using them, even using them the right way, can cause you to always want that type of Band-Aid. What I realized, it helped with sometimes the situation, but anything from like Lexapro or Ativan will make you want to basically walk around with blinders on like a horse. And once the Band-Aid or the visors, which is the medication, wears down, you really want to be in that secluded box, but still be able to see out. You can't just stop them type of medications. Obviously, we all know they're opioids. That you will get a withdrawal from them out of experience. It's not a real good thing either. I notice with natural medications like CBD, which we make, and we used to call it anxiety, but the FDA, they told us we can't call it that, so we call it tranquility now. Not to put people's business out there, but I have someone close to us that ended up having a lot of anxiety and depression, and one of their medications that were prescribed to them were Ativan and Lexapro. And right away, I was like, no. I gave that person a bottle. That person threw away within the week the medication. So not only did they didn't have to break down that opioid prescribed medication, they let it go within a week with natural CBD oil
Love
to
that.
help them with their anxiety and depression. And what I described to you, what I went through, that's exactly what she was describing. And I love this person too much for them to go through that. So I was like, listen, try it. Here you go. Don't pay. Do what you got to do. You let me know. And the results is 100% positive.
I like that camera angle.
I will have to say today was going to be a short cast for me because I will just a little bit of insight. My cat is Lefty. My cat is going to be losing her leg.
Oh no, we have a tripod.
Yeah, it's so she got herself tangled in some the drawstrings of my some clothes when she was laying down and got her so scared it dislocated the leg or the joint, and they said they can pop it back in. It'll probably pop out. So this is just the best. I'm just happy she's coming home at the end of the day. But I have a call from the vet, and I'm not good at handling that. So I'm gonna go for now.
I gotta
Jen, Juicy, Mr. Hemp, it's been great talking to you. Jen, I sincerely hope you reach out to me and let me help you get your imagery all together.
Absolutely. I'll reach out to you probably later this evening then.
Please do. And guys, have a good night. Lefty, I'll see you Thursday.
Thanks, brother.
Thursday.
Hey, there's
Sorry about
another
Kitty.
one I've been talking about Devo's Weed Chronicles. That guy, he got over the opioids, and that's because of weed. I got away from 32 pills, including Valium and Lortab. I got away from all that because of smoking weed. Now,
That's
there
good.
was a
That's
time
great to hear.
I was doing the edibles along with it, and I strayed away from the edibles and kept smoking weed. I got 6 jars over here full of different kinds because you become used to one.
Tolerant. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you go to the other and then the other. Like right now, my go-to is this red bottoms. This one right here. The blueberry, the BC blueberry may be next, you know. And
Blueberry. I love anything blueberries. We have 2 vets coming off of 63 pills and methadone right now.
see, it can
Wow.
be
I'm
done,
working
man.
with their physician because I don't want them coming off of like stuff that there's things that they need to have medication for. And
Yes,
and can't I am a
like topicals and stuff like that. But
it's not a all fix all thing. It's I don't want to be the cause of somebody coming off a cholesterol or heart
LT man does his work. He goes and does everything he can to help. And if there's a topical or they're ingestible or smokable or whatever, he has it, and it can get rid of a lot of what you're going through. Like he helped me, and that's why I promote. And Lefty, that looks awesome.
Yeah, this is Mad Hatter's own cheddar cheese from Mad Hatter. It's an indica that I need for my pain, my back pain. It's 27%, 28.9%. I'm sorry, 27% THC, 25.25 CBG. Terps are linalool, limonene, beta myrcene, beta caraphyllene, guai. How do you say this one? Guaiolol, terpenol, and eudismol. That's a new one. So it's very cheesy.
I've noticed that the myrcene and linalool. So I think linalool is the key to nightmares, and I'm trying to hunt down a cultivar that is high in terpenes with that. I know I'm not going to get maybe more than 1%, maybe if I'm lucky, but I just feel like that's like when we had a couple of them that were both high in both things, they didn't have their nightmare subsided, and I've just been on the hunt for this for about 6 months.
You can get one that is high, but it'll taste like shit. I mean,
Well,
that's
we
just the
can
way
cover
it
up
is.
the
Now, you can make that into an edible,
yeah, because some of
or
them like to have the gummy at night. Um,
yeah,
or they'll have like a tincture at night, so we can just stick it right underneath the tongue and it
see,
bypasses and it's good.
I'd rather instead of a tincture use Rick Simpson oil. Really,
We do a lot of
it,
FIFO stuff.
it's just better. And it does get rid of the nightmares. Now I've started having nightmares in the past few months, and I've been trying different weeds. But if I smoke a hash joint or come in here and take a couple of hits off of my hash bowl, now that'll get rid of it,
Hmm.
and it'll keep me from having nightmares. But it depends on the hash that you get. Mine just happens to be this Canadian hash. I mean, yeah, I get it right there at
Right
the
there, right next door.
well, no, it's like 20 miles away, but it's within driving distance, and uh I get really good deals from these people, and they do me right. And that's what it is. It's a family atmosphere in there, and you got to have a good it's like back in the day, you had a dealer. You went to him because you either knew him or you got along with him or her, and it's just like your favorite pharmacy or your favorite vegetable store or whatever. It
Back then it was the one that had the less seeds in it, right? The less brickweed. Back
yeah, no
then.
brickweed, man. I remember back in the day the brickweed. That I remember back in the day. My first was
Oh goodness.
uh it was skunk, and it
Like
was
this.
out of a 3-chamber bong, and they told me the wrong way to do it. Get that chamber filled up and then take you a big old hit and then pop the curve. And dude, I blew my head off, started puking outside, did all this. I'll tell you what, it was from then on, I was always involved with weed, but I didn't know what I was doing. I'd smoke sativa for this and that and the other, and it was all a big old party. But now that I've
All right, go put it on the charger.
I've gotten more knowledgeable about it. Uh, I like that, and the more knowledge you put in your head about weed, it could be used for concrete. It could be used to get rid of PTSD. It could be used to get rid of the flu. Put it in a cough drop. You know, it might be only 20%, THC or whatever, but you know, it's the fact that that helps you, and it's marijuana based.
I might have to get going and make these kids some food before they think that I'm neglecting here and they call the people on me. Like these kids eat all day. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Anyway.
I hope you get in touch with LT Man, Mr. Hemp for Fitness next to you,
Yes,
and
that
you
would be
guys can work
awesome.
out something.
We are actually going, so we've been offered a table at National Cannabis Festival under the
Nice.
veterans tent, and we are actually looking for like sponsors and supporters to help us with some things for the veterans to have there.
Get a hold of LT Man
So
and just, I mean, Work something out.
So if you know anybody else too, we're looking for if used
I
and
will
not.
talk to everybody around here.
So
And
I'll put them right on there on the table with their who they are and contact information because I love helping people who help me.
nice,
So.
nice. And I have this is a sativa, and they're autos. But I will give these to anybody that gets a hold of us at email in private chat. It's Buds, BUDZAGROWIN at Gmail, and I'll just send them to whoever.
Awesome. My guys would love that. I might just put it in our Discord channel. I don't like putting things on our Facebook and our because I want my guys to get, so I don't upload our discount codes or any I just put them in our Discord channel and they have to go there and get them because I don't feel like uploading and updating 7.
I hear you. I hear you.
Lefty, I'm gonna have to get
I gotta
going.
get going too. So
Yeah,
that's
but,
me.
but I want to say real quick before I do. Well, I would have said before, but this was a really interesting night of cross connecting here. That was fascinating for me to sit by and watch. I would normally have a lot more to say, but it seemed to have just a really nice course with the three on the bottom screen here all. And I found that quite fascinating, Jennifer. If there's that, I wish I could do more to help, support that and what you were just talking about. But I don't know. It really made me feel good hearing about such efforts. And real quick before I go, though, going back before I got hurt real bad feet in 2012, but I had been making trips to Washington, D.C., like mailman Jim. And what I did was I would get veterans to, if they wanted to get in touch with their congressman especially, if they emailed me an email, and just whatever they wanted to say, I would deliver it, and I'd be the exclamation point. All they had to do was begin. I would like somebody on staff to, as a constituent, my constituent request of you is that I would like to have somebody on staff talk with Jim Miller and I go, that's me. When he hand delivers this to you in your Washington, D.C. office. So I would travel the 3.5 hours down there with these letters. And these letters were heartbreaking, and yet to be able to do it. And it's the same thing because I pioneered the process of easily getting by you walk into anybody's door. What a world. What an amazing free country. Now, when you walk in, no matter what you want to talk to them about, they will say, are you a constituent? And, they'll what they do. So what I would do is I do it a la Blazing Saddles, a pretty funny movie, Blazing Saddles. And if you didn't know the movie, you won't understand. But they would say that to me, and I would say,
nice.
Me, a constituent? Hell no, I'm not even from the same side of Mississippi as you. But here, let me whip this out. And I'd do it with great flair, and it'd be the letter. And then I would read it. And not once did I get turned down because I'd say, listen, I got a lot of stops to make, and I don't know if I can make it. So if you're going to deny the constituent request, all I need is your name and a card or something. I can be on my way. Like I really wanted them to push me out so I could keep the schedule. And, it was really satisfying because one time while waiting, I was getting such glares from this woman with her blonde hair pulled so tight behind her head. I think it raised her eyebrows up. and I was
Been
just
there, done that.
I was so offended by because it was like marijuana was the subject, and she didn't like that I eased my way in because I was asked to wait by her when she asked somebody else. Now it's just me and her, And I said, I'm sorry, I'm also keeping going to be doing a story about this with somebody, so I got to make some notes. Scowling at me from the desk. and I do that because it was, I would be treated as such. I'd make my way down, but I got so many returned thank you letters because they would be in touch after that. In other words, it did help get them through. But some of the comments, he could kind of read in. They would read into it. So anyway, I covered 39 offices, and I had to bring help down on one because it's actually hard to get away from that conversation when you force it like that. So that's also been a very interesting for me here tonight to see, because this is like what, 13 years later, 12, 13 years later. I should have to do the calculations.
Hey, Jen, before you go, one quick question, quick answer. What's your favorite munchie food?
Double chocolate Rice Krispie treats.
Oh my
shit.
There's the first.
Those things are.
Yeah. Obviously, these are questions that Lefty does ask everybody. So that's the first, and that was without hesitation too. Extra credit.
Oh yeah, it's my staple. I don't like I'm 40 years old now, since 15 years old. That's a long time. But yes, that is. And then my mom's, she used to make these rolls at Thanksgiving that we used to call them butt cheek rolls. Like she put 2 of them in, and they would rise. And those things were the best thing ever. But and her monkey bread was really good. But nobody can make it as good as her, because I've told them all they sucked this last Thanksgiving. So but yeah, the double chocolate crunch Rice Krispie treats. I don't even know if they make them anymore, but those were good. They were so good.
Sounds like snack crack to me. I want one.
Okay. So I might have to go now.
Oh, I'm starving.
Yeah. That guy right there loves freaking Reese's.
Hey,
any Reese's.
Easy, man. Easy.
I like Reese's, and you put them in the freezer, and they're just barely frozen, not frozen all the way, just enough to give you that nice little crunch in the beginning. That is the best.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and the Moose Tracks ice cream. Oh. Yeah.
Ooh.
Reese's cereal.
Ooh.
Man,
I don't like milk, but
I'll eat the hell out of that stuff.
Some hot tea, hot cocoa, hot coffee. Yummy.
It has to have those the artificial marshmallows, the Jiffy ones, those little itty bitty ones. It has to have those. It can't have the real marshmallows though. My kids will get so mad if I put the regular. Anyway, whatever. But they're so weird. But yeah.
Hey, Santiva Cross, man, thank you for letting me come up with Upstate, man. Me and him are like partners. Thank you for letting me come up, dude. I got to do a few things. We're fixing to go live here in a little while, but man, thank you for letting me come up.
Thank you. We got to talk more.
Yes, guys. Hey, come check us out here in a little while, man. We're kind of crazy and stupid, but hey, it's just
we're like
Seinfeld
on weed.
Yeah, we're like Steinfeld and weed, man. Absolutely nothing. We don't. It's about nothing.
Show about nothing.
Yes, but hey, man, thank you, sir, for letting me come.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you,
to
brother.
chat.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Devo.
Thank you.
Devo's Weed Chronicles. Jennifer, how can we reach you? Is it homegrownforheroes.com? Is that right?
So it's .org. It's homegrownforheroes.org.
Sorry.
Is our website, and all of our handles are homegrown, the number 4 heroes. Instagram, except Twitter. It's I don't remember, HG Heroes or something. But I don't really get on. I have so many more to do that I'm hardly ever on that. And then when I remember to get on it, I forget to get on it.
It's kind of funny. My email address forever has been pot4ms, and every time I say that, it's pot4ms, for the number, like a license plate. It's longer but I did that because it's at Yahoo. So whenever, I mean, I really
Oh,
Yahoo.
yes.
So I don't, when I'm giving somebody that, if they want to do it when I'm done, I don't want any pen and paper out. And no, I'm not going to punch it in anywhere. I'm going to tell you what it is. I did it for a reason, damn it, you're going to remember it. But then no matter where we are, I belt out that Yahoo. I mean, it leaves an audio memory, I'm sure,
And my
So anyway,
computer's
Let me
not
say it
back.
again.
I'm going to say bye because I think I'm at 10%
Bye,
of my
Jennifer.
battery.
Thank
But
you. Let me say
I
it
would love to
again.
come back and chit chat another time whenever you guys want me to come on.
Oh, yes,
Thank you,
absolutely.
Jennifer. Thank
We
you.
do
Yes,
that.
we love you.
Sometimes I'm unorthodox, but you got me in a good mood today. So we're good. But thank you so much for having me. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Nice to
And
meet you.
Jennifer
bye.
from
Nice meeting you.
Homegrown for Heroes. Homegrown 4 with the number 4 heroes.org.
.org. .com ain't gonna do nothing.
No,
All right,
.org.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Right on.
That was good.
Yeah. I love good podcasts like this.
Heck
Hitting the
yeah.
road. Look at you. Yeah, it was interesting. It was good. And, Big Juicy. I really liked, Bucketman kept just saying juicy. I don't know. I think it deserves both.
Was it juicy? It said juicy, right?
Yeah, but it's big juicy, not just juicy. Any more than these? Who was it that was calling him Bucket Boy one time? Was that Ron or somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he kept a Bucket Man, not Bucket Boy. You know what I mean? So I saw this irony in that there when he kept saying juicy, which does sound like an actual quick name, but not one you might be used to.
There is a guy named Bucket Boy.
No,
I
well,
know
that
him
was
really well. He's a weirdo, but he's cool.
well, that's who we were just talking to, not the same. Well, anyway, it's been good, and I really enjoyed watching everybody just sort of cross connect or whatever. I mean,
Dude, I like that. I
yeah.
like that I introduced LT to her. I mean, that's the first person I thought of. As soon as I said, man, I got to get hold of LT, man.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, it makes this no matter on any other level, it makes this what I call a really worthwhile podcast having had, because if something happens with these connections that's like really beneficial, and then other good shit rolling downhill in that direction, it's like, hey, maybe that wouldn't have happened without having the podcast this night. So
That's
in
right.
in that respect, anytime I'm at an event, it's how was it? And to me, I look around and I see the people connecting. And sometimes down the road, it's like, oh, yeah, on that podcast, whatever. So it has that potential.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, but my time's up, and I know Lefty's already.
Yeah, I want to thank the Mad Hatter for giving me the cheddar cheese. I love the cheddar cheese flour. I just smoked some. It's amazing. Rich, earthy, and funky. It's true.
seen
It
that
really is.
blunt you rolled. You look. Here's what. No, that ain't it. Wrong jar.
Look what they gave me here. Look at the stuff they put here. I don't know why they look at this.
Oh, do I have to?
Oh hell.
What's that? What is this?
Well, you better explain who they are and the significance of that. So
That's a
everybody doesn't know you're.
It's got a lock on it.
Oh shit.
All right, well, listen, are we going to end this? Because I got to go.
That's my
Yeah, I got to go.
roach jar.
You can't just go. You got to end it.
I got to end it. I want to thank Mad Hatter for having us, and I want to thank the cheddar cheese. Come get some cheddar cheese, Mad Hatter's own brand. It's really good. CMMNJ, thank you, CMMNJ. You're the best. Arlo Glass, want to thank Arlo Glass, of course, and OprahMachine.com. We love OprahMachine.com. Very helpful. UFCW. We love UFCW. They'll be here next week.
Nice. Good. Are you
So
going to do the list and all that?
We have a list of patients here that have passed on waiting for cannabis. And it starts with Cheryl Miller, Jim's late wife, Cheryl.
It's real quick. The whole thing is the list gets to just hearing first names, much like people read a list of the people in the World Trade Center once a year. Is the names that are said out loud? It's like they don't just disappear. So it brings the serious nature of what we talk about, because there's medical cannabis patients and the freaking struggle for something like that, and the people, not just patients, but for instance, the lawyer who got it allowed in schools, even as a Schedule I thing, and because of his daughter, all the fights. So anyway, if nothing else, but for Lefty and me, for 10 years, it's been our job to make people feel like shit at the end of the podcast. So as warning, Big Juicy, it is sort of like self-triggering for a second, but not having the kind of trigger that you're talking about. If you follow, just stepping in to remember the importance of this endless, with no homegrown New Jersey,
like that warm fuzzy feeling.
Yeah, but anyway, I appreciate you being on here, but I just zone out each time, and it takes me a few minutes to get over it sometimes. And I hear a list all the time, but like he says, my late wife, he mentions first only because, she was public starting in 1991 in New Jersey, the public face, a woman with MS that could only move her head and lean back wheelchair and stuff, pretty critically ill. But and to be the only one for like the decade in New Jersey who was like that. But the point is, somebody that opened the gate till the bandwagon would come. We were like gatekeepers. So rightfully to start off, but then he's going to get right to Sabina Rose, a 15-month-old baby who died of a 24-hour seizure from a Dravet syndrome.
5, but who's counting?
What's that?
25-hour seizure, but who's counting?
Oh yeah, my God! But anyway, he just kind of warms it up, and but after that, it's pretty much just names, and I can only react to about 1 in 5 each time, and I don't know who's going to get through. So anyway, now you know what the hell it is, and Lefty can finish it. And
I'm going to start it with Cheryl Miller, because that's Jim's late wife. That he pushed her across the state in her wheelchair. She had MS and she couldn't move her arms and legs. And when Jim would give her cannabis, she was able to be exercised and move her legs.
She could relax. She wasn't. She was. Stretch that shit out, But go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm gonna bid you a farewell.
That's probably a good idea. Actually,
we gotta get ready for our panel. We go live at 7 Eastern.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Devo has a Weed Chronicle show at what time? 7.
Coming right up. Yeah, I'm doing the time. Yeah. Well, thanks for being here. It was great. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you for having me. Much love. See y'all
Much love, brother. Sabina Rose, Diane, Gracie, Cindy May, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jaybird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, Lawanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, Julia, and Jeff
Jeff.
Oaks.
That's it, man.
Thanks, Jim. You have a wonderful night. See you
you too.
Thursday. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end, against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. Thanks, man.
All right, man.
Cheers.
Listening.